haven't done this in a while.
No, it feels good and weird.
Mostly weird. The day that I graduated high school, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out. And I had been waiting for the next Indiana Jones movie since before I was born, which is when the first ones came out. I was so pumped. I could not be more excited about anything, probably on Earth. So my high school boyfriend took me as like a graduation date. I think it was our first date actually, which is a bad time. Don't date someone right after you graduate high school going to college. That's just not a good call. But anyway, things didn't end well. But we went to Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I was so excited. I had just graduated high school. I was done with that place forever. I had a cute new boyfriend who was my former physics partner, and there were rumors that he once pulled someone's eye out. Fun times. And the movie was horrible. The movie was so bad, and I knew it the second Shia LaBeouf showed up with his stupid face. And he picked up that sword to sword fight Nazis in a jungle and then swung on some vines, and I was like, bye, childhood. Bye, sorry it had to end this way. It was really bad. And that's why I was not at all excited when they announced the new Ghostbusters movie, the one that came out this summer. It wasn't that I don't think that there should be lady Ghostbusters like most of the internet. I actually think ladies are great. I know sisters are doing it for themselves. I know ladies ain't afraid of no ghosts. It's just that the first one, which was my favorite movie when I was 3 years old because I have excellent taste in comedy, is perfect. You don't have to mess with it. It's perfect. It's got Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis, and it could not be more perfect. So I was furious. So even though I was really nervous about it, I knew I was going to go see it. I already owned this shirt. I'd committed to Ghostbusters fandom for like 23 years now, so I'm kind of in. But I did not have high hopes. I'd been burnt so bad by Indiana Jones that I just sat there in my seat dreading it. My boyfriend was like, "You're going to hate it." And I was like, "Look, I know. We just have to go, okay? We just have to see it with our own eyeballs." So I went into the movie completely, totally freaked out, sure it was going to suck. Low expectations, and I came out of the movie like, oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! And I spent, I don't know, like an hour afterwards doing this. A lot of that, which was tricky because I was driving. So it's very dangerous. I was so excited about that movie though. It's not that it's a great Ghostbusters movie. Obviously there will never be another great Ghostbusters movie. There's not room in the universe for two of them. The first one is perfect. But it is a pretty good movie. Solid. I would give it a B or a B plus even. But the best part is that in 26 years of watching movies, 23 since I can remember seeing Ghostbusters, so that's probably my early movie stage, I have never seen a movie where women were portrayed as like, you know, humans who could just do stuff. The movie wasn't about like, look at us, we're ladies and we're busting ghosts. It was like, we're just people and this is our job and we're scientists and we also fight ghosts. And that scene where Kate McKinnon whips out her guns and just like does the slow motion takedown of like 30 ghosts in a row and they're in ridiculous costumes and she's in a ridiculous costume and it's great. Changed my life. I've never seen anything like that before. And all the press going into Ghostbusters was the ones that weren't like, ooh, lady Ghostbusters. The rest of the press was like, lady Ghostbusters, how empowering for women. And I was like, it doesn't matter. That's not relevant. They're just people. Let them be people. But I didn't get it because I've never seen a movie where women were allowed to do that, where female characters were like actually just people, kicking butt, taking names. We came, we saw, we kicked its ass. I hear that now. I should have said that. Okay. It was completely mind-blowing because I guess I didn't know that women could be in movies. And I know that sounds really stupid because I know what you're thinking, and you're thinking women are in a lot of movies. There's women in every movie, except maybe like ones that take place on submarines because legally I don't think women can serve on those in America. But there's probably women on shore. I don't think I've ever seen a submarine movie. It's just occurring to me. But anyway, women are in a lot of movies. But here's the thing. They hardly ever have names, and if they do, there's usually only one of them, and if there's only one of them, she can't talk to another lady, but sometimes she does, and she's usually talking about a dude. And that's when a movie fails the Bechdel test, which is basically just a litmus test for movies to pass. It doesn't say they're sexist, it just points out that, hey, maybe these female characters aren't getting treated in the same way as the male characters. So the rules of the... Just so excited. The rules of the Bechdel test are, 1, that there need to be 2 female characters. Some iterations of it say that they both need to have names, but that's pretty rare because that never happens. 2, they need to have a conversation with each other. Doesn't need to last very long. It could be 2 sentences long. It could be a sentence and a grunt. 3, their conversation can't be about men. You would be shocked at how often this does not happen. It's so rare. For example, some of my favorite movies, Star Wars. I think Princess Leia might be the only female in the universe. What's that other lady's name? Mon Mothma? Is that her name?
Something like that.
Anyway, she's there, whatever. Princess Leia seems pretty lonely, doesn't have a lot to talk about, and she's got a lot to talk about, especially on the man front, but it doesn't matter. Indiana Jones, none of the Indiana Jones movies have any of the female leads talking to another female character. I don't even think Marion Ravenwood talks to Salah's wife. I think they're pictured at one time in a street laughing at each other. Not at each other, that would be rude. Laughing near each other about delightful things. But I don't think they ever have a conversation. Finding Nemo, I guess Dory is the only female fish in the ocean. There's that female starfish in the tank, but we don't know if she makes it back to the ocean, so that's sad. The Princess Bride, it's about the Princess Bride, but I don't know anything about Buttercup, do you? Just that she likes Wesley and she's kind of dramatic. Stab herself. Okay. There are some movies that do pass, and they're great. Kill Bill is a pretty good one, but the women who talk to each other basically just talk to each other about the horrific violence that they have to commit because terrible things happen to them, so that's not great for them. Labyrinth with David Bowie barely passes because Jennifer Connelly has a conversation with a Muppet bag lady, and also her stepmother at the very beginning, but that one may not count because they talk about dating. Jurassic World was horrifically sexist, but it does barely pass the test because the female lead has a conversation with her assistant about something. I will say that the best female character in that entire movie was the T-Rex, though. So I'm not saying the movies that don't pass this test are bad in any way. They're my favorite movies. These are amazing examples of storytelling. I just think it's really weird that there are all of these movies out here and there are all of these women in the world, like more than half of the world, and they're not showing up in the movies they're watching. It's bizarre. It's just baffling to me. And it took Ghostbusters to really drive that point home. I do think that things are getting better, is the good news. If you watch television, I think there are a lot of empowered females that talk to other women. It's sad that that's the basis here. Buffy has conversations with women all the time, and then she kills some vampires, and it's awesome. That's not on anymore. I will think of a more current example. 30 Rock, also not on anymore, but Liz Lemon is great. She has conversations with Jenna all the time about Jenna being crazy pants. Parks and Recreation, Leslie Knope has great conversations with Anne, that beautiful tropical fish friend of hers. I think things are looking up. I just wish that Hollywood would get a little bit more on board. Things are good with Ghostbusters, but maybe next summer we see another Jurassic Park movie with the lady T-Rex, the lady Stegosaurus, and Jeff Goldblum, and the lady dinosaurs can talk to each other about anything but Jeff Goldblum. I would watch that. You would too. I know you would. So if you can think of any movies that I didn't think of that do pass the Bechdel test, or really, really don't, but they're still great movies, I would love to read about them. Leave a comment or whatever. This is a fun discussion. I'm really angry about it. I'm very sweaty. It's hot in here, but it's also like rage sweat. If you want to hear more things that make me very angry, you can read my blog, blissfulthinking.org. Fun, angry, kinda. Or you can subscribe to Life and Stuff because I'm probably going to be ranting about a lot of stuff pretty regularly. Okay, I'm going to go make a movie about ladies who have conversations with each other.